If you love Israel so much and you want to go nuke and starve Palestinians to show how much you love Israel, why don't you get the F out of our country and go to the country you actually want to serve?
The Israelis look like absolute monsters on the international stage right now, and we as Americans also look like monsters.
Of course, that fat ass doesn't need any evidence. He ate it already, okay? And yeah, I called him fat. That's how fat he is.
You have two sides of the political aisle firmly up the ass of the Israeli government.
Oh, might not like the Muslim. Cry about it, bitch.
All right. Hold on. So what happened in the Holocaust and all the pogroms were disgusting. That doesn't mean that
she thinks that if you criticize Israel, you're criticizing her children. And if you beat her in a debate, she's going to try to have her husband denaturalize and deport you.
Do you agree when your guest says that the Millers always lie? Because that's what your guest on your show just said, is that the Millers always lie.
Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay? I mean, can you handle it being in the media? It doesn't seem like she can. Did you think it was gonna just be like were you gonna have your head caressed? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
He said that the Millers lie. I'm raising Jewish children in America. Okay, it's coded language. Like, well, I mean, that was insane.
I say her and her husband lie. She's like, it's coded language for anti-Semitism, so it's hurting my kids. Wait a minute, that's not even a trope. You forgot that one. Okay, there's like a million tropes, but that's not one of them. That all Jews lie. I've never even heard that. You just made that one up. And so wait. But think about it, guys. Think about how much this is identity politics and DEI in a sense.
Oh my, this is DEI on steroids. What are you talking about?
Because she's saying you cannot ever accuse anyone who happens to be Jewish of lying in any debate, even if they are lying, because it harms all Jewish people and their children.
Yeah, wrong again, Bob.
Then you can't ever participate in a debate. Then don't come. And then you see her look to mommy. She's like, Piers, why aren't you canceling him? He already said something against me. Stephen told me we could cancel anyone we want. We can kick him out of the country. Why don't you kick him out of your show, huh? There's no crying to mommy in a debate, okay? You either show up with facts or you try your weak sauce identity politics and I'm the victim horse crap and you get your ass handed to you. To what Mamdani said at the end there. So he gets the most amount of votes in the primary in New York. The New Yorkers get to decide who their mayor is. He also gets the most amount of Jewish votes out of any of the candidates. But does that stop Randy Fine from calling him an anti-Semite anyway, or Andy Ogles? No, of course not, because they don't care about what's true. All they care about is protecting Israel, especially Randy Fine. Randy Fine is a monster. He's not just a terrorist sympathizer, he's trying to get America to become terrorists. He betrays our founding principles, he betrays every American principle. He's loathsome in every way. Okay, so let me prove it to you guys. So first off, he tweeted this about Gaza, release the hostages. Until then, starve away. So collective punishment, starve all of the civilians and the children and the grandmothers in Gaza. Then of course he adds, this is all a lie. Anyway, it amazes me that media continues to regurgitate Muslim terror propaganda. Yeah, mainstream media, they hate Israel. They love Muslim terrorism. That's why they're always pro-Muslim terrorism in mainstream media. Do you understand what kind of a lunatic Randy Fine is? How he's so detached from reality. He's like, this mainstream media is not pro-Israel enough. They love Muslim terrorists. So and as you saw there, he said that Mamdani is not only communist, we'll come back to that, he's a jihadist, which is a very heavy charge. Somebody who's a terrorist looking to kill people here in America. He's running for New York mayor. He calls him a jihadi. He says his ultimate goal is the destruction of the United States. Wait, when you have pro-Israel radicals like Randy Fine, every accusation is a confession. So that makes me wonder, whoa, I thought Israel was just trying to rob us and get us to pay for all their genocides and all their war crimes and all their land acquisition. Are they trying to destroy us too? Because I don't think that's true. But Randy Fine always accuses, and other pro-Israel radicals always accuse others of what they themselves are actually doing. So here's another quote from Randy Fine. He said, "We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender. That needs to be the same here." So he's saying, let's set off a nuclear bomb in Gaza and murder as many civilians as we can. Well, what is that? That's a terrorist. Randy Fine is advocating for America to become a terrorist country and to kill civilians en masse, and not even for our benefit, but for the benefit of the country that he actually serves, which is Israel. So if you're gonna fly the Israeli flag higher than the American flag, you're gonna say we should murder innocent civilians and become terrorists so that we could serve Israel more loyally, well then you should get the F out of our Congress. And if you love Israel so much and you wanna go nuke and starve Palestinians to show how much you love Israel, why don't you get the F out of our country and go to the country you actually wanna serve? Oh, no, you don't wanna do that, because that would be too honest. Instead, you want to burrow your way into our Congress. Why is AIPAC even giving him money? This guy is a terrorist sympathizer who would do it for the sheer glee of murdering Muslims and Arabs. But nevertheless, they bothered to bribe him $458,000 from AIPAC and other Israeli lobby to Randy Fine. Locals, on the other hand, is a cheap bitch and was bought for $40,000, but that doesn't tell you if he's got super PAC money and dark money flowing to him from radical Israeli supporters. But either way, they apparently don't understand the point of this country. Everybody's allowed to think what they think. We're all free here. I know you don't want us to be free. I know you want to treat us like we're the Palestinians and occupy America. And like Larry Ellison said, we're gonna make sure all the citizens behave. Okay, we're gonna monitor all you guys. Okay, and Randy Fine says, you oppose Israel, you're a jihadi. You should be driven from the country. He says, oh, he's not loyal to America. He's got zero evidence on that. Of course, that fat ass doesn't need any evidence. He ate it already, okay? And yeah, I called him fat. That's how fat he is, okay? And then he comes back around and he's like, well, we should ban anyone from criticizing Israel. We should ban anyone from being Muslim. We should ban. No, brother, it's called the First Amendment. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, free to think whatever we want to think, even if your beloved terrorist government of Israel does not approve. Sorry, you want to, I don't like the Muslim. Cry about it, bitch.
Anyone who lives in this state knows that Gavin Newsom's leadership has been pretty disastrous, which would make him a target-rich environment as the Democratic candidate in the 2028 presidential election. But make no mistake about it, Gavin Newsom is planning to run. What's amazing to me is, while they might have these lofty goals because they want that position of power, have they reflected on their own political leadership? I mean, it's just more so Gavin Newsom, to be honest with you, because Gavin Newsom has an incredibly important role as governor of California. And under his leadership, I mean, the state has squandered $24 billion in taxpayer money that was meant to help the homeless. That money gone, okay? We're still doing audits trying to figure out where it is. Homelessness has exploded in the state. It hasn't gotten better. On top of that, he has all sorts of corporate donors, including the utility companies here in the state, which he did favors for, bailed out, even though they refused to upgrade and update their over 100-year-old equipment, which keeps falling onto dry brush and causing devastating wildfires. I don't know if you know this, Cenk, but the state currently owes the federal government more than $20 billion because of the way we handled the unemployment funds that the federal government gave us during the COVID pandemic. So remember, there were they bolstered the unemployment funds on a federal level. So during COVID, when these shutdowns happened, people who were forced to stay home would be made whole. Well, it turns out that there was so much fraud, there was very little oversight of that money, and that fraud amounted to $55 billion. That's billion with a B, okay? And now we have about 20 billion left to pay back to the federal government. And we keep missing the deadline to pay that money. So all of the businesses that operate in the state of California, whether they're big corporations or small businesses, now have to pay a per employee payroll tax or a penalty in order to get that money paid back as soon as possible. So think about the high taxes in this state. Think about how little we get for that money. Think about how much of our resources have been squandered under the leadership of Gavin Newsom. And then on top of that, on top of all those expensive business taxes and taxes for ordinary American workers in the state, now these small businesses are forced to pay an additional payroll tax per employee to make up that massive debt that we owe to the federal government, because Gavin Newsom and the political leadership in the state couldn't be bothered to do the proper oversight to ensure that that money didn't go to fraudsters. So I know I'm going on and on and on, but I have endless complaints about Gavin Newsom. And the reason why I was begging that panel, and more importantly, Neera Tanden, who was on that panel, to take into account how poorly he led the state of California, is because he is a target-rich environment. And so we're gonna make it all the way to the 2028 presidential election. Gavin Newsom is a snake oil salesman, and people love appearances, and they think he looks young and he looks like a politician. He's got the slick back hair. He's probably gonna win the nomination, and he is going to be politically destroyed because he is a target-rich environment. So that's my take on it. I know there's people in the audience who don't care. They just want, a messiah or someone to save them in the Democratic Party. Anyone who can beat these Republicans. And I understand the urge to want someone who can beat the Republicans. But at the same time, right now is when the vetting should happen. Right now is when we should be asking ourselves the difficult questions in regard to who is the best Democratic candidate to go up against the Republicans. And my opinion is Gavin Newsom ain't it.
When Steve Bannon has been asked about it, because he keeps bringing it back up, he said, "Oh, well, we have an idea for that. They're gonna try to move this whatever ideas they have, which is nonsense. They don't have any ideas. Their idea is, why don't we go for fascism, okay? Or do this stupid cutesy trick, which, I mean, like, I can't give Trump any credit on this. He's the one going, oh, maybe I run for a third term. And I'm not joking, right? So, all right, he ruled out the idea that's too cute by half on the running as vice president and having the vice president step down. But that was the only idea I've seen that they've actually put out there, which is not that clever. But when Bannon's asked about it, he's like, well, no, we can design it in a way where only Trump can run, but Obama can't. Tell me that you're afraid of Barack Obama without telling me you're afraid of Barack Obama. Tell me that you're not actually in favor of democracy without telling me you're not actually in favor of democracy. Because if you want to say third term, look, I'm not a big Barack Obama fan. I don't necessarily wouldn't necessarily want him to run again, okay? But apparently Bannon, Trump, and all the other leaders of the Republican movement are like, oh no, not Obama, not Obama. We have to double cheat. Our guy can run, but your guy can't run because we think your guy would kick our guy's ass and he's way more popular. So we're gonna maneuver everything so that he can't run, but we can. All right, then you're admitting that you want to cheat, you want to get rid of the Constitution, you don't want to play by the rules, you hate our democracy. Just admit it, just say it. Why doesn't Steve Bannon just say it? Okay, you hate our democracy. Everybody knows that, Steve. I don't know why you can continue to hide it. You've said it a billion times in other ways. Oh, wouldn't it be great if these people weren't allowed to do that and those people weren't allowed to do this and only me and my fellow Republican leaders and our fake walls and all the other scams we run are the ones who should be the only ones who have a voice. Yeah, I get it, man, I get it. Some in right-wing leadership love that kind of talk, power for power's sake. That's not what this country was built upon. Okay, so when it comes to
every
the
time
voters,
you ring
Jordan,
the bell below, an angel gets his
look, do I see the
totally
cat
not
turds
true,
of the world?
but it
like,
does keep you updated on our
fascism
live
is
shows.
awesome. By the way, don't call us fascists. Oh, they called me fascist. Let's be fascist. Make up your mind. Which turd of whichever animal you are, make up your mind. Do you want to be fascist or do you believe in America? Oh no, I believe in America, man. Oh, you want Trump, man. Trump looks like me. People who look like me. That's what the America I believe. That's not America, brother. That's not America. That's like old school Germany or something. So America's, we're all equal. We believe in justice for everyone and equal rights, not an equal opportunity, not equality of results. But you don't want any of that. So just be honest about it.
Maybe it's the fact that I've been doing this job for nearly 2 decades and I'm just kind of fed up with just the endless euphemisms, the lies, the lack of straight talk. So let me just give you straight talk right now. There is no ceasefire in Gaza. When over 100 people get slaughtered in a single night, that's not a ceasefire, okay? The slaughter continues. And the slaughter is very much carried out by one side. where hundreds of people get killed in a single night, and then they somehow make themselves out to be the victims. It is the most, it is awe-inspiring. It really is. It really is. The lack of self-awareness, the lack of personal responsibility, the inability to see how the Israelis look like absolute monsters on the international stage right now. And we as Americans also look like monsters. Because we're the ones funding that welfare state. We're the ones funding the bombs that are being dropped on the heads of all those children, all those elderly people, all those innocent civilians. And the thing that sucks is that we have absolutely no power to stop it. Oh, this wonderful democracy that we live in, where you have two sides of the political aisle firmly up the ass of the Israeli government. Well, what a democracy. Where literally you can't vote for someone who's gonna put a stop to this. Because our politicians are either blackmailed, bribed, compromised, you get the point. Anyone who thinks like, oh, anyone calling this out, they're just anti-Semitic, they just hate the Jews. There are Jews who don't co-sign onto this. No problem with them. There are evangelicals and Jews who do co-sign onto this. Now, do I hate them simply because of their identity or their religious beliefs? No, I hate them because of this ideology that makes them believe that they're actually the good guys as they're slaughtering tens of thousands of children in the quest to steal more land. I'm just calling it like I see it. It has nothing to do with Jewish religion. It has nothing to do with Jewish identity. It has everything to do with the ongoing injustices and slaughter that everyone on the international stage has been witnessing for the last 2 years.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.